Huh? Not my first rodeo. Not guilty. Under advisement. What do you want to know, right?
Do one of
You
these
know?
hearings without getting assaulted.
I don't know.
I can't believe LG walked in with him.
Yeah.
I think should be, in the crowd.
A little bit more. No. Yeah.
Crazy.
That was Epic Troll. Yeah, I'm gonna be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everybody's wishing you the best, bud.
Yeah. When they get in here, I'll make a little statement. I'll tell them what happened.
Yeah, you want me to hold the camera so you can talk to the camera? What happened?
Yeah. I mean, every time there's something fucking a problem. Always me, too. Always me.
You got a bullseye in your back, son.
On my head, the forehead guy. I mean, yeah. Hey, listen, can you guys all share this stream again? Sorry about that. I had a lot of those 2,000 people. Dumped them all at once when they dropped the phone. Bang. Yeah.
Talking about it now.
Yeah, we're all good. Everything's good. When this fills up, I'll tell you guys what happened. It's one of them things. You're gonna go in? Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say you won't get through with that.
You're shivering, Tom. You're shivering.
I'm
Your
good.
lip is.
No,
No.
you need your coat.
No, put it on. Leave it on. Leave it on. Nope. Nope, I'm good.
Hey, handsome.
How are you, dear?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good crowd.
Yeah. Hi. Good to see you again.
You too?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. Can you guys all share the stream here? Let people know that I'm back up and running.
Did they lose it for a minute?
They smashed my phone. The McCabe girls, the fucking crowd of them. Just tapping my phone. I go, hold on, right? And I go like this to my phone, right? And I go, okay, now tap, right? And she goes, just put the phone, and then she taps my phone. I go, hold on, and I tap her back, like tap her phone back. And I go, wait a minute, and I go. I got it. So I played along like I got her data from her phone.
Yeah.
Smash! She took her phone and hit my phone out of my hand right in the ground.
Yeah, don't ever let somebody put their phone in your hands.
So, yeah.
You're like, so there's that.
So I
Well,
know
I had like, I hope he knows what's going on
I
there.
had 2,300 people. You know? Oh, and all of a sudden, boom, they get dropped. Yeah.
Were you able to log into your account from another
Yeah,
device?
this is my main phone. The good thing is it wasn't my other phone.
Excellent.
hit it out of my hands.
Which one did it?
I don't know. The girl.
We should take up a collection or something and get you another phone. Someone
Good.
should do that for you.
All right.
No, it's not right though. You do all this for everybody. I think.
That's
It-
right.
it-
Someone
but
should take up a
this is
phone.
my burner phone.
Look at you moving up in the world.
Yeah, I got this too. They bought me this.
That's what we need.
This is
That's
high
like an
quality.
assault.
I know.
That is an assault, and you should file a report.
Already done.
And they should be held
That
responsible.
guy right there.
Did he, this is rotten.
No.
Who's Jay?
Will they? Will that be replaced if they?
Oh my God, you
$35.
I know. I loved it. So up my alley. So up my alley. Loved
All right.
it.
All right. So here's-
It's the principal.
Oh, Tom, I have an extra men's hoodie.
No, I gave her my jacket, but she doesn't have one.
But does she need the hoodie? I have a
Yeah,
green
she
hoodie in my
does.
truck.
Yeah. Go get it.
I will.
Thank you. She needs it.
I didn't even know that happened. My girlfriend just called me. and
Yeah.
told me. I was like,
I gave her. She only has a shirt on, so I gave her my jacket to wear. She wouldn't wear my jacket. I don't blame her. I wouldn't either. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there.
I see
she's
shivering,
young.
though.
She's
There's a
young.
brand new Yannetti hoodie in my truck right now.
I'm cold. I'll put that on.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm glad I went with my other instinct. My neighbor said, just wear a jacket. He said, just wear a hoodie, you'll be fine. I'm like,
Oh my, who
No,
said
I'm glad
that?
I brought my jacket. I'm freezing.
Dave's channel. Thanks, bud. Nice.
it's probably going to be cool. Does anyone want an ear so they can hear it?
Well, you have it?
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
I have
put it on.
Yeah. Oh, you can't really hear it because
Oh, what are you trying to listen to?
The trial.
Do you want to hear the other ear?
Streaming it.
Yeah.
Here, take the other ear. Let me see. Make sure they're both working first. 'Cause-
Oh, do you want me to put it on? Is that
Yes.
what's happening?
Hold on,
If
make
you
sure
can
it's both
stream it.
working.
Hold on, she may be able to pop it on.
If it's working, I'll give you the other ear. Because my speaker sucks. Hold on. Here, take this ear.
Come on. Hold on. I want to show you. I want to show you guys. This is what happened to the phone. Done. I can't use it to stream. Like it won't work. Like it won't let me. So
Put one in your ear. You can hear everything, but we're going to stay close together.
Oh, here you go.
I can't even log into the other phone to shut the other stream off.
I wish I had
Unfortunately.
my Bluetooth.
Maybe if I shut. Hold on. Yeah, the case is smashed too. Yeah.
It's on a speaker. Yeah. If I had I wrote to him. He's like, anyone ever feel? I said, no. I said, I don't know who it was. I grabbed it where people were recording. I don't know what I heard.
No.
Can you see it? Here, we can. Oh, we can watch here too. Yeah.
Can you get a picture of that? The cross that says God chose Karen?
I know. I was just looking at that.
Actually, I haven't seen her today. I haven't seen her today.
I think I killed the other stream, guys. I think I was able to kill it.
About what shows. Then like not the last two.
Listen, John didn't die in vain. This is going to blow open so much stuff.
A lot more than just a lot more.
Dave,
than
I
just,
killed it.
A lot more than just Birchmont and just like a lot.
There's Jen O'Donnell. She's still there.
Are they gonna do anything, Tom? Are they gonna do anything?
No, well, no. I wish. Oh, you know what? Hold on.
No, I know
No,
we're
no, no, hold
connected.
on.
Tom needs a bodyguard.
Hold on.
I know he does. You know what? I'll stop bringing my friend with me. I'll stop bringing.
So much. I appreciate it. Of course you can. She would love that.
Yep, we're good. Everything's good here, guys. We're all set. We're good. It was good.
Tom, do you still have to do a separate police report, or is the notes they took good enough?
Notes they took, they're going to create the police report with that.
Okay. The people that are asking in the chat,
Yeah.
you have to go to the police station still.
No, it's already done.
So friendly. No, I know.
Yeah.
No, you should ask. I always ask.
That's not gonna happen.
She thinks she's human.
See, all three of them are on 80s.
Who? Again?
Brian, Will, and Aiden.
I know.
I don't know if they know you're live again.
No.
But now they're concentrating on the courtroom.
Yeah. Man, that wind is brutal, isn't it? I'm dumb.
Both my phones are plugged in.
Hey, you know what?
Oh my God.
But that's why I was letting
Yeah.
you listen. Oh, they knocked the phone out of his hand, but he had
Knock the phone out your
one of those, one of them.
Hey, I spy Aiden. Guess what? He's not here.
Yep.
So he made her come here, but for no reason.
He had to make a police report because they broke
He
his
punked her.
phone.
Yep.
Good boy, good boy. Good move.
Broadcasting with the glare on
In his PJs. Ha, I gotcha. Yep. Good move there. Good move. Good move. That's a chess move. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Tom, are you warming up?
Yes.
Good. Your lips
That-
not shivering.
Poor girl doesn't have a jacket. I gave her my jacket. She doesn't have anything. Where is she?
Listen, don't forget my hoodie's in the truck. I already told her.
Yep. I gave her my jacket.
Panic in the Albert family? What the hell is that?
What? All right, something's going on over there.
Hey, did you find out her name?
Yes, get her name and everything. Thank you.
Jurisdiction over homicides, correct?
Oh, they do.
All right.
How's your camera, bud?
Broken. Nice too.
So where is it in the record that
In
you flipped it out?
Those are in reports that the
Yeah, I gave him
prosecution
everything.
provided to us. Mr. Lally also told me
Whatever.
that orally early on in
Okay, so I need those
It's always
reports. I
something.
need that reference.
Okay, we're happy to provide that.
Okay, so I'd like it by tomorrow morning.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, the guest is
Ken
gonna be
Police
nice.
Had a conflict
All right.
precisely because Kevin Albert is an officer in their department.
yeah.
So how can they conduct an investigation which includes the brother of one of their officers? It stands to reason they can't. They appear to recognize that. Yet Chief Berkowitz is talking to witnesses in this case, and Kevin Albert himself inserted himself into this case. Brian Albert testified to the federal grand jury about the fact that after Brian Albert received a federal grand jury subpoena, Kevin Albert contacted Brian Higgins. Kevin Albert said to Higgins, and I quote, "Look, you went off the grid and Brian doesn't understand. You haven't called him, you haven't checked in on him since these subpoenas go out. Everyone got a subpoena, but you." Those were Kevin Albert's words to Brian Higgins.
Oh. Whoops. We forgot.
Albert was panicked that that Brian Higgins had flipped on him.
Yep.
Brian Albert enlists his Canton police officer brother to contact Higgins to try and find out if that was the case. And it wasn't just text messages between them. After first testifying that he didn't want to talk to Kevin Albert about the investigation, Brian Higgins later admitted that before he testified before the federal grand jury on June 1st of 2023, Higgins and Kevin Albert talked on the phone for a good 15 minutes. That was 2 days before he testified before the federal grand jury. Before he testifies to the feds, Brian Higgins is conferring with Kevin Albert, who supposedly conflicted out of the case. So, my goodness, with all the allegations of witness intimidation thrown around by this DA's office and special prosecutors they appoint, why has Kevin Albert never been investigated for witness intimidation? And for that matter, why has Brian Albert never been investigated? But as you ponder those questions, please realize, we're not asking for much here. We're only asking for relevant phone records. We're asking for contact between Kevin Albert and Higgins and Brian Albert. We're asking for contact that violates the self-recusal of the Canton Police Department from this investigation. Contact which impeaches them, contact which is relevant to their motives in this case, it impeaches the investigation. We are entitled to explore whether this investigation was conducted correctly and ethically. And we're entitled to explore whether improper influence was put upon witnesses by the Alberts. Without this testimony, this federal testimony from Higgins, and without the federal investigation, we never would have known of Kevin Albert's involvement here. But now we do. And the Commonwealth does. Why aren't they curious about what was said and why? They've announced an objection to this motion. Why are they fighting our quest to get exculpatory evidence? We need this evidence, these phone records, in admissible form. That's why we're filing this Rule 17 motion. We have more than met the requirements of Rampart. The records are relevant because they tend to show a cover-up. They are relevant because they show a Canton police officer inserting himself into a case in which his department was conflicted out precisely because he was an officer there. They're relevant because they impeach the credibility of Commonwealth witnesses who deny that they are a part of a conspiracy, yet the phone records tend to show they were conspiring together. We cannot get these records any other way. We cannot effectively prepare for trial without these witnesses.
So you testified as to the relevant. How are they evidentiary?
They're evidentiary because they... Can you guys hear that? I can't find the other window. And if they're provided by... with an appropriate... Hold on. There's another window open. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me see something myself. These records at any point, but they chose not to. And they have fought our efforts to get all phone records. Thank goodness another law enforcement agency stepped in and did the job that the DA's office should have done, but didn't. Go for it. These records, going to trial without them would violate my client's rights to exculpatory evidence. It would violate her due process rights. And finally, to the extent that this court previously ruled that it's Boston 25 for a fishing expedition, nobody can claim that anymore with a straight face. Yeah. We now have testimony that these records exist. We're bringing up a different one. Hold on.
Switching over Sport TV. Get rid of that background.
She's the one who does the
Oh, you gotta unmute it. There's no sound.
Oh. Gone. Shouldn't be muted. Can you guys hear it?
I can't hear it.
Oh, hold on. We're going back to Twitter.
It happens, man. It happens.
Fucking annoying.
The former chief Berkowitz, but he's not on the other. So I saw there was two distinct motions, and one, the one that we just heard you on, is really asking them to deliver whatever records, right?
Correct. And I would note that the providers are on the second motion, except for...
That's three different people, or one different person.
One different person. So we have Higgins and we have Brian Albert on the first motion. We have Higgins and we have Brian Albert on the second motion. The difference is...
Check private chat.
have an
Okay. Right.
Try that one.
Okay. All right. Mr. Lally, I'll hear from you, and then I do see Mr. Henning here. I don't.
I'm bringing it up.
Goodness, another law enforcement agency stepped in and did the job that the DA's office had done, but did not.
Wasn't Lally up?
These records, going to trial without them would violate my client's rights to exculpatory evidence. It would violate her due process rights. And finally, to the extent that this court previously ruled that our requests for phone records were a fishing expedition, nobody can claim that anymore with a straight face. We now have testimony that these records exist, that calls exist, that text messages exist. As Mr. Lally said in the last hearing, phones do not lie. These phone records do not lie. We need them, and we ask the court to order them.
It looks like you're asking the parties themselves to bring them.
To the extent that they have them, that's accurate, Your Honor. We're also asking for their phone providers to...
They're two separately filed motions, right?
Yes.
One of them is Mr. Berkowitz, a former Chief Berkowitz, but he's not on the other. So I saw there was two distinct motions, and the one that we just heard on, is really asking them to deliver whatever records, right?
Correct. And I would note that the providers are on the second motion, except for...
That's three different people, or one different person.
One different person. So we have Higgins and we have Brian Albert on the first motion. We have Higgins and we have Brian Albert on the second motion. The difference is Berkowitz versus Kevin Albert.
Right. Okay. All right. Mr. Lally, I'll hear from you, and then I do see Mr. Henning here. I don't know if he wants to speak or not, but I'm going to hear from Mr. Lally now.
This sucks. Yeah, just very briefly with regard to this motion. With regard to the Rule 17 motion with request for records or communications from individual cell phones from April 1st of 2023 to the present day. Firstly, the Commonwealth would just indicate the facts as recited in the defendant's motion the Commonwealth would submit are largely inaccurate. Injected with hyperbole, injected with conjecture, in regard to federal grand jury materials, which belie much of what counsel claims that they say. Essentially unsubstantiated conjecture, which is directly contradicted by the testimony and the evidence contained within the federal materials. Now, I know that the court has had those materials and has carefully reviewed those materials, so I don't feel the need to go into each and every specific ground. However, what I would say, secondly, even assuming that everything contained within counsel's motion was true and accurate, the defendant's motion in this specific instance fails on two grounds. Number one, what the Commonwealth would submit is that the time period that's being requested is far too overbroad for whatever collusion or whatever purportedly occurred, according to counsel, going from almost a year worth of communication from people who admittedly through the testimony, through the evidence that was presented and has been presented in both forms, knew each other well and knew each other well before any of this occurred and continue to associate and be friends following this incident. Secondly, the sort of last paragraph of counsel's motion claims that the records are needed to establish the exact nature and extent. What the Commonwealth would submit is really what they are needed for from counsel's perspective is to establish the existence of these conversations and what the content of them were, which is the very epitome of a fishing expedition. And so for those two reasons, the Commonwealth the defendant does not met the standard on the RAMCON, and that motion should be denied.
All right, so I see Mr. Henning, so I don't know, do you want to be heard? Yeah, please come forward. And I don't know who counsel is for Mr. Higgins, but if he or she's here, do you want to be heard as well, sir? Great, so I'll hear you after I hear from Mr. Henning.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of Brian Albert,
I just wanted to put three things on the record for the court. The first is, and I'm sure the court is aware, that the parties that are the subject of the Rule 17 motion have not actually received the motions. We got the cover page, we got the orders and the proposed orders, but we have not been able to review the actual memoranda because, at least according to the interpretation of the protective order, we're not entitled to see that content. And that...
All right. I ruled that they were to be given because the federal proceeding is not to interfere with this court's proceedings.
I understand that, Your Honor, and I did receive the court's order, and I informed each of the respective counsel that I spoke to as far as what the court's order was. And I also understand that the court hasn't had the opportunity to review the federal protective order, but my interpretation of that order simply would not permit dissemination of the material contained within the memorandum.
Even though the Land Plan Protocol says shall, doesn't that supersede the federal protective order? It's the law of the SJC. How can third-party record holders, the people who Rule 17 in the case law protects, not be able to go forward without it?
And I understand there's a direct contradiction there. And so, out of an abundance of caution...
Okay, no, I understand you're following your order. I'm going to make it available. Not a party to any protective order.
Nice. Who's to win?
So...
Done.
We can take a recess. You can have them now. What do you all want to do? I mean, I didn't know that the Commonwealth was not complying with my order. I understand why you didn't, but I didn't know.
I'm happy to be heard now, and if the court will allow us to review the motion and the memoranda, we can amend with a written filing if there's something we need.
Yes, pursuant to a protective order, the way we have them in the Massachusetts courts for Lampron Dwyer records. So...
Can I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Looks like Aunt Beth's been watching a little YouTube.
So they didn't, I'm trying to figure out, it says here that they were not compliant with her order to make sure the parties got the motion. What motion is she talking about?
Rule 17 motion.
Are they in trouble? I'm kind of confused.
Your Honor, what I think the counsel for the third parties would ask is that we are able to address the court today, but allow us an opportunity to review the memoranda and submit something in writing before the court makes an order.
Sure. I'm just rereading the appendix on Dwyer, and it is a shall. So my view is that the SJC in Commonwealth versus Dwyer, the procedure that we're to follow, allows certainly, and I say mandates, that the third-party record holders be given this information. So we will provide it when we take a recess today. I'll ask Mr. Clerk to make copies of what I have, not what the lawyers have. We need protective orders signed before you're given them. And I will have them given to all three record holders of four if we hear from Mr. Berkowitz.
Protective order, locking it down so you can't see it.
The first part of what I wanted to address is appeals with what Your Honor is just addressing. The fact that we are third parties in this matter and do not have access to the materials that are in the subject of the discussion from the federal side of things makes us at a disadvantage here in front of the court. Obviously, we're going to remedy that, hopefully by being able to review it. But that notwithstanding, the fact that there is materials that we can't review that are being discussed in front of the court, even if we are able to see the memoranda, makes it difficult to address these. And I think for an issue of fairness, I want to make sure that the record's clear. If there are future motions, I want to preserve and not waive any argument as to the fairness of being able to access those records. So that would be the first point. The second point is, going into this not having an opportunity to review the record, I do believe that the Rule 17 standard of relevance still needs to be met regardless of whether we get to see the material or not. So what I do want to offer to the court to consider as part of your determination here is that after receiving the notice from the Commonwealth last week, I contacted the U.S. Attorney's Office and I spoke to the lead prosecutor in the case.
Okay.
What I want to have the court know is that I have permission to notify the court that Brian Albert, his wife Nicole, his son Brian Jr., and Caitlin are not targets of the federal investigation.
What?
And I've been given permission to disclose that in open court.
Okay.
So I think it's important for the court to know that as you go into the motion that you're considering and the arguments from the defense. The third thing I would like to just ask the court is, notwithstanding everything that's just been said and reserving the right to file that written document later on, Brian Albert does not object to turning over the materials that are being requested. I understand that the Commonwealth may be having objections as to the Commonwealth's case, but Brian Albert does not have anything to hide. He does not have anything that he needs to prevent people from seeing this material. And if the court does deem, after reviewing the material and having access to the federal records, that these are somehow relevant, but that these are somehow admissible, and the court deems that Rule 17 has been satisfied, Brian Albert will comply with the court order.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of Kevin Albert, present is Peter Paschuko, and on behalf of Brian Higgins is William Connell.
Great. Thank you.
Sounds like a bunch of people flipping. It's
All right, so
crazy.
counsel, I need you to spell your name for me, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The last name is Connolly, C-O-N-N-O-L-L-Y.
And what's your first name?
William.
Thank you. All right, I will hear you on behalf of Mr. Higgins.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, as the court is aware, Brian Higgins' phone records and communications are at issue in these motions. Brian Higgins is a federal ATF agent. He is a witness in the Commonwealth's prosecution of this case. He has cooperated fully in the Commonwealth's investigation. As this court knows, we've not had the benefit of seeing the factual support for these motions, but I want to provide some information that likely isn't contained within those materials submitted to the court, but of which I have a good faith basis to believe is information contained in the materials provided by the federal government to the parties in this case. I've represented Brian Higgins since April of 2023, the month when he received the federal grand jury subpoena. Like he has in this case, Brian has cooperated fully with the federal investigation. He has answered every question put to him in both investigations, and he will continue to do so because he has nothing to hide. Brian Higgins is not a target of the federal investigation. That has been confirmed by the United States Attorney's Office and confirmed to me that I could make that representation in court. The U.S. Attorney's Office has continuously confirmed throughout its investigation that Brian Higgins is not a target of their investigation. Brian Higgins has not participated in any kind of a cover-up or conspiracy to cover up the criminal activity of others.
That's not true.
Brian has spent his career saving lives. He was a firefighter before becoming an ATF agent. He's been an EMT since 1992. He received a congressional medal for saving the life of a fellow ATF task force officer after being shot 5 times in Somerville, Massachusetts. He has served our military in Iraq. Participating in a cover-up is contrary to who he is as a human being and a professional. I am here to represent Brian's interest in privacy. Brian Higgins, at my urging, will not capitulate and stand down when efforts are made to further intrude upon his privacy based upon sheer speculation. It is for that reason that we oppose these motions, not because Brian Higgins has done something wrong or has anything to hide. We know this court will give us an opportunity to review the motions and supplement our remarks if we deem it necessary. We know this court will fairly weigh the arguments before it and will render a fair decision, and we will respect that decision and we will comply with that decision. Respectfully, we do not believe there is a sufficient factual basis to support the relief requested in the motions before the court. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hold
You guys got a lot on your plate now.
Counsel?
I can't lose that.
Which one? Your Honor, Attorney Peter Paschuko on behalf of Kevin Albert.
Right, so who are all these lawyers?
It's P-A-S.
Kevin Albert's lawyer.
C-I-U.
Yeah, there's new lawyers all the time.
C-C-O.
Good afternoon.
What has happened? Thank you. And just a little bit of background with respect to Mr. Albert, and we are objecting to this Rule 17 motion. Kevin Albert's a 19-and-a-half-year veteran of the Canton Police Department, extremely well-respected, extremely well-liked. Any insinuation that he participated in a conspiracy or a cover-up is simply untrue.
What do you have? Are you supposed to have that? I
How
don't think you
personal
are.
communications between my client and Mr. Higgins have any relevance here, let alone evidentiary value. Kevin Albert is not a Commonwealth witness. He did not testify in the federal grand jury, and his involvement is essentially zero. This is a clear intrusion, as Attorney Connolly indicated, into the privacy rights of these individuals. And I've advised Kevin that there is simply no reason to acquiesce to something that's just clearly a fishing expedition. So upon my advice, Kevin Albert is objecting to this Rule 17 motion, but we will honor and respect the court's decision and appreciate the time to supplement any response in writing after we see the motion and affidavit, which hasn't been provided to us yet.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Mr. Yannetti, did you want to respond or no?
No, I would just move to the next motion if the court were ready.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next motion. Mr. Lally, you didn't want to add anything, did you?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, so this motion concerns Brian Albert, Kenneth Berkowitz, Brian Higgins.
Yes. And, Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to start with Brian Higgins with regard to this motion.
All right, so Mr. Lally, is it safe to assume you did not provide?
Thank you.
You didn't comply with my order.
Yep.
And providing the motions and supporting affidavits on this as well to the third party record holders and their lawyers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the council will receive copies of this as well and be permitted to argue now and supplement it. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I previously mentioned, Brian Higgins did testify before the federal grand jury. And at that time, he was specifically asked if on January 29th, 2022, he made any phone calls when he got home. He said that he did not. He testified that he lived alone. He testified that he was alone that night. He testified there was nobody else in his bedroom. He testified that when he went to bed, he placed his phone on the bedside table. After making those admissions, he was confronted by a federal prosecutor with his phone records. Those records revealed that Brian Albert called Brian Higgins at 2:22 in the morning on January 29. Those records reveal, moreover, that 17 seconds later, Brian Higgins called Brian Albert back, and that call lasted for 22 seconds. Now, when he was first confronted, Brian Higgins first tried to claim that it had to have been a butt dial. That term butt dial is used by many of the Commonwealth's witnesses to explain the many calls between them and among them. And I've never seen a case where there have been so many butt dials, to be frank. But Mr. Higgins was already locked in. He already testified his phone was on the bedside table. His butt was in the bed, the phone was in the table. The two could not have met, Your Honor. There was no possibility of a butt dial.
No cheek on
And Higgins admitted that. And that wasn't Mr. Higgins leaving Brian Albert a voicemail. He also admitted under oath that the toll records would have reflected a voicemail if they went to voicemail. He admitted that to call Brian Albert back, he would have had to first reach for his phone, then unlock it with the passcode or Face ID. Then he would have to press on Brian Albert's number. And that is exactly what he did. And he testified that that was what he did. He also testified that nobody from the Commonwealth, not Trooper Proctor, not ADA Lally, no one has ever asked him about that phone call from Brian Alberts to Higgins, or the return phone call from Higgins to Albert lasting 22 seconds. Rather than get everyone's phone records, as this court knows, the Commonwealth has fought the defense at every turn in our quest to get the phone records. They've persuaded this court that we were previously on a fishing expedition. To the extent the court once thought otherwise, it is clear this is no longer a fishing expedition. We do not have to go fishing to wonder anymore whether calls were made. We now know that someone who had been in that house when John O'Keefe arrived called the homeowner at 2:22 in the morning, 3.5 hours before John O'Keefe's body was found on the homeowner's lawn. We learned that neither party to that call ever revealed to police, investigators, or prosecutors that they connected by phone in those early morning hours. Just like Jennifer McCabe never revealed that at around the same time she was Googling, asking how long it took for someone to die in the cold, a search that the FBI confirms happened at 2:27 in the morning, again, about 3.5 hours before John O'Keefe's body was found. Now, for his part, Brian Albert also first tried to claim that his phone call to Brian Higgins at 2:22 in the morning was a butt dial. He said that he was awake and watching TV, but he was called back to the grand jury to testify a second time. The second time, Brian Albert changed his testimony to say that at 2:22 in the morning, he and his wife were in bed in an intimate situation. What? He had his phone with him in the bed. He fucked his wife on the phone? And now he's claiming that it was during that intimate situation with his wife he supposedly butt-dialed Brian Higgins. There's no explanation, however, for how his phone picked up when Higgins called him back 17 seconds later. He had no explanation for the 22-second phone conversation that
So
followed.
much for a minute, man.
And it's worth noting that Higgins testified he never heard any intimate noises on the other end of the line. Brian Albert tried to maintain that he butt-dialed Higgins, but again, that would mean that his butt also answered the phone when Higgins called back, and it doesn't make any sense. Both men denied talking to each other despite being confronted with that mountain of evidence by federal prosecutors. But it wasn't just the January 29th, 2022 calls between Higgins and Albert. Brian Higgins' phone records, we learned, reveal that Canton Police Chief Kenneth Berkowitz was involved in interacting with both men shortly after John O'Keefe's body was found. And again, recall, they're supposedly conflicted out of this case.
So I'm going to, there's just a question I have, and I'll let you continue, Mr. Minetti, but regarding the dates. So the dates of the records you're seeking for Brian Albert, so January 29th to February 4th.
4th or 5th, yes.
4th. That's what you're seeking. And for Kenneth Berkowitz, January 29th to February 18th, and Brian Higgins, January 29th to February 18th. I need you to explain to me why those dates. Why February 4th and February 18th?
There was testimony in the federal grand jury that Berkowitz and Higgins were speaking to each other up through the 18th. With regard to Mr. Albert, we had evidence through the 5th.
All right, it's not entirely clear from the affidavit. Okay. All right, so go ahead. Thank you for answering that, and I'll hear you. Go ahead, continue.
Right. So as soon as John O'Keefe showed up deceased on Brian Albert's lawn, Canton Police decided it might not be a good idea for them to be involved in investigating this case. And by the way, I'm reminded when I sat down that District Attorney Morrissey announced that publicly. So we knew that early on.
Okay, so is that in his statement that I've had copies of?
It is not in the video statement that we moved to sanction him for. It was a previous statement that he issued.
All right, so get that to me, okay?
That's fine, Your Honor. So the question is, why was Chief Berkowitz inserting himself into this case almost immediately? United States Attorney Joshua Levy questioned Higgins about that in the federal grand jury. He summarized the phone records in their possession, records the feds have that we do not, records we're asking this court to order so that both parties in this case can review them. Mr. Levy directed a question to Mr. Higgins in the grand jury where he asked about all of the back and forth between him and Brian Albert and Chief Berkowitz.
Yep.
Quote, you had a 3-minute call from with Berkowitz at 7:22 in the morning. This is on January 29th.
Right, exactly.
Another call with him for, then you have a call with Brian Albert that afternoon for 12 minutes. Another call with him for 6 minutes. Another call for a minute. Then another call with Albert for 10 minutes. Then a call with Berkowitz for 4 minutes. Higgins spoke with Berkowitz on January 29th, someone who was conflicted out of the investigation 4 times. And then they spoke many additional times between January 29th and February 4th.
But Higgins had nothing to do with the investigation, correct?
He was a witness in the investigation.
Okay, at that point,
Chief of police, who's supposedly...
I'm sorry, I just need to, you said at that point, you said he was a witness.
I'm sorry?
At that point, the point of the phone calls, he was a witness?
Yes, he was in the home, Your Honor.
Okay.
He was not spoken to by investigators yet, but clearly he's a witness. He was at the home that night.
How incriminating that happened before
Recall that Chief Berkowitz supposedly found a piece of taillight on Brian Albert's lawn on February 4th. After that lawn had been searched by trained investigators and other police officers multiple times without finding it, but somehow Chief Berkowitz was able to spot that piece of taillight while he was driving past the property from his moving vehicle. And the phone records show that Berkowitz called Higgins that very day to tell him about the discovery, and then Higgins calls Brian Albert to tell him. In a case where we are alleging as part of our defense that there is a third-party culprit, and at least some people are involved in a conspiracy to cover up the guilt of that third-party culprit or culprits.
Yeah, but
Contacts between co-conspirators could not be more relevant.
I don't know, but
Before the feds got involved, we fought for this information, but we were largely unsuccessful.
there's more important things,
Although
right?
we
Karen?
never had to prove that the phone records actually contained evidence of the conspiracy. That's something we couldn't do without having the records themselves. This court has previously ruled that it was all too speculative. Not anymore. Not now. Not after we know that the records exist. Not after we know they proved what we suspected that they would prove. We now know that those records will tell a story that could not be more relevant to this case and to our defense. And the problem, Your Honor, is we know the records are there. We have them in summary fashion, but we don't have them in admissible form. The feds have revealed that they exist, but they haven't released the actual records to us. They have them, we don't have them. That's why we're filing this Rule 17 motion. And again, we've more than met the requirements of Lampron. These records are relevant to our defense because they show suspicious contact between parties we allege to be in a conspiracy. They're relevant because they show the Canton Police Chief inserting himself into a case when it was previously determined that he was conflicted out. They're relevant because they impeach the credibility of Commonwealth witnesses who denied talking to each other, yet have no explanation for these records, which again, do not lie. We cannot get the records any other way. We cannot effectively prepare for trial without these records. The Commonwealth could have gotten them, but they chose not to. They fought our efforts to get them. But again, thank God, another law enforcement agency stepped in and did what the DA should have done. Going to trial without these records would violate my client's due process rights. And finally, to the extent that this court previously ruled that our requests were a fishing expedition, we can't maintain that now with a straight face. We now have the receipts. It's confirmed we were never on a fishing expedition. We were merely on an expedition to obtain relevant material and exculpatory evidence, and we're simply on a mission to defend our client. And I would ask the court to allow this motion.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Lally?
So, Your Honor, the Commonwealth does not object to this motion. The only question or clarification that I'd ask for is there seems to be a discrepancy in the dates that I'm not really finding any support for within the context of the motion. So
that's why I asked. So
my question was a different one as to the dates, though. So when it directed towards individual people, it's a time period beginning on January 29th. When it's directed towards cell phone carriers or providers, it begins with a period on January 28th, which is the day prior to anything occurring. So I'm not sure why anything on the 28th has any relevancy. There's nothing in the motion that I can glean that indicates that. I don't know if it's a Scrivener's error or if there's some other reason for that.
Oh, wow, another
for
error?
those providers to be starting a day early.
what do you say about that, Mr. Lally? Your affidavit says the 29th.
Right, I would orally amend that to the 29th, Your Honor. We're fine with that.
All right. I'm going to hear from the third party counsel if they want to be heard.
Your Honor, if I may, just one further thing. I did speak with counsel, it's attorney Kenneth Anderson. who represents Mr. Berkowitz. There's no objection on behalf of his client.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Conley?
This is some serious lawyering that we're seeing. We'll just rest on I'll rest on what I said previously. And we respect the parties' positions. I just want to point out one thing with respect to the factual assertion. I don't have the privilege of seeing the grand jury testimony. But I can represent to the court that before my client ever testified at the grand jury, he voluntarily appeared for an interview with the U.S. Attorney's Office. I attended that interview, and at that interview, he volunteered to the U.S. Attorney's Office that that morning he spoke to both Albert and Berkowitz. He was not asked, he did not give a rundown of how many times, but he acknowledged long before he testified at the grand jury that he did speak with both of them that day. I don't think that impacts the substance of the arguments, but I just wanted to note that.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, the Commonwealth hasn't objected to these records for that period of time that appears to be relevant to
So I will waive arguments on that, Your Honor.
All right, and does counsel object to these records? Mr. Henning, on behalf of Brian Albert, and counsel on behalf of...
No objection.
Okay. Oh, that doesn't concern you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Defendant filed, Mr. Yannetti filed a motion that I just got as I was walking out here.
Right, we're not asking to be heard on that motion. I had alerted your clerk that it would be coming. It's filed with a motion to impound as well. I figured I would hand deliver it today.
Okay,
The
great.
Commonwealth just got it today, so they'll need time to assess that.
All right, so today, all pre-trial, non-evidentiary motions have to be filed pursuant to the order.
Yes.
All right, so this is it? This is
No,
what...
I expect by the end of the business today, the court will be receiving a motion to dismiss to be heard next week as well.
All right, and you can't be here next week?
I cannot,
Another
and
court date.
on that point, Your
Another
Honor, I
court
think the
date,
court
next week.
probably was alerted that we filed a second motion to admit counsel from California, Prohoc Vice. I don't know that it's necessary, but
I'm glad you filed it because I think it is. If you're not here, you have to be here
that's why
for
we
that,
did.
so...
Stand up, guys!
Where's Jackie Chan? Did you and Jackie Chan get in an argument today?
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Ah, your good friend was dead, passed out on a lawn. You're heartless.
You invited him over there.
You're heartless.
Evil.
That's all right. Wait till LG starts fucking Matt and takes all your money. I'm gonna roll on the floor dying.
She already has.
Already rumors going around.
That ain't worth it. Let's go. Let's go to the important piece. Hey everybody.
Where you going, honey?
Watch for those butt dials, Tom.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of them going around.
Go, Erica.
I've never heard of so many butt dial calls in my life.
Hey, how you been?
Not bad, how are you?
Doing good. Yeah, working my way down, bud. Thank you. I'm little. Get that?
I'm normally like the nice one.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, SSI won't allow that. SSI won't allow that. SSI won't allow that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I have these two sworn.
I thought they both agreed that she sent it down. But I mean, Yannetti was supposed to, I'm saying, Valley was supposed to turn it over, so I forgot.
Richie, you see my GoPro? Is that like level?
Yeah, it looks level.
Like,
Yeah.
this just screen's on, right?
Yeah, screen's on.
Red?
What is that? A red flag? Yeah, the red light's beeping.
Good.
Flashing, right?
Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No respect for vets, no respect for firefighters. What do you want?
Here they come.
Woo!
Yeah.
We love you, Darren!
Get out of the way.
Free Darren! Free Darren! Darren, why are you paying this $3,000 a month for PR? You know you are. Don't lie to me.
Are you still hoping to discuss?
I didn't know you could comment.
Still hoping to discuss. David, just on the way, the scheduling portion of it. So what is Tuesday? Tuesday will be for additional motions. Okay. We anticipate a motion to dismiss and refile and argue. Okay. No, it's a refile too. It's a second one. Is that what's it's actually a third motion to discuss? So. Okay. You still making an expedition? Yes.
You worried about a bar complaint?
Must be proud of yourself.
God bless America.
You, Karen.
You must be proud of yourself.
You must be proud of yourself.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support. God bless you. Love you, Mr. Reed.
Good job, Mr. Reed. Good job. We're proud of you, bud.
We got you guys. We got you.
God is with you.
Nice people.
The best.
Nice people.
The best.
Nice people.
The
This
best.
is disgusting what's happening to
Isn't
them.
it?
It makes me sick.
It's such a nice family.
It makes me sick.
I know.
What's happening to this poor woman?
Oh, that nice shot. Not bad. There we go.
See Lindsay hanging with Grant at the bottom of the stairs?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Now standing right behind him.
All right.
Yeah. Like blocking for her.
Jesus.
I don't know why she wanted to stand at the bottom of the stairs. So Karen come down.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, LG was here. She was hanging around with Grant. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Good job, lady. We'll see ya. I'll butt dial you later. I'll be butt dialing.
You actually should call me later anyways.
How you doing, my dear? Oh, good to see you.
You too. What's going on?
Not much.
What the hell happened?
Yeah, what happened? I hear your phone got
So,
out of your hands.
this is what happened.
Oh, I love
All right, everyone's here, so let me tell everyone what happened, okay? So, I'm filming with my phone. Oh, what happened there?
Paul, why are you so tan? Are you going to cruise?
All right,
Why? Oh, you're tanning. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
so I'm filming, and there's an app that you can use to get data off a phone, but you have to tap. So she hit my phone, and I'm like, oh, let me get that app. I opened up the app, and she kept tapping my phone, and I put my phone against hers, and it went beep. So I was able to connect to her phone, and she smashed it. She hit it out of my, and went in the ground and smashed it.
It's smashed? Oh my goodness.
Paul, who did that to you?
The lady's name is, I don't know.
One that had things to say to you.
It's one of the trolls, one of the other side people. But it's all on video.
Is there damage to the phone?
It's cracked.
Oh no! You get a good
But I couldn't, the problem was I couldn't stop the stream. I couldn't, the screen's broken, so I couldn't end the stream on the thing. You know what I'm saying? I turned it
They
off.
were up there looking at the cameras.
Yeah.
And I heard one of them say, "You think maybe he dropped it?"
Ah, yeah. Maybe we dropped it. Yeah. Dropped it. From,
I
so-
doubt it.
But I got her data. Yeah, be good. Thanks for coming,
Do you,
dear.
have, do you have video of her hitting your phone?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I think people are questioning that.
No, I got it all.
There's a camera
Good.
right up in that corner that'll have it.
Yeah.
So how come she wasn't arrested?
I witnessed it. I wasn't
It's
time.
not an arrestable offense.
It's an
a,
assault.
it's a misdemeanor. It's not.
So what happens now?
They file a report, and you got to go to the magistrate, and the magistrate's got to say, okay, I'll take it out of under advisement. It's just a burner.
It doesn't, it doesn't matter. It's still a phone.
Right. You
Doesn't
shouldn't do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all right.
Oh my god.
Not a big deal. They,
Did they do it on purpose?
yeah, they didn't want me to record them, so they were hitting my phone with their phone, and
I mean, I don't want to be recorded either, but.
yeah, well,
Smash your phone. That's like
Yeah.
that's what they did at that meeting.
yeah, it's all right. Not a big deal. Suzanne Bertone, she's a real estate agent in Canton.
Suzanne Pertone
Yeah,
in Canton.
she's a real estate agent.
So let's make her go viral.
Yep.
Okay, everybody needs to make her. Let's call her work and tell her work what she did.
I wonder if Lizzie Proctor will call her and work and say, hey, you know what happened the other day?
Lizzie Proctor might.
Probably not, though. But either way,
I can't believe Lizzie was here with Grant.
yeah.
It was good to see you.
Yeah, you guys be
see you
safe.
next week.
Be safe driving.
Listen, you be safe.
Yeah, I'm good. I've been bounced around. We're all set. Yeah, be good. Oh my, how you been?
It happens every time.
I know.
You know, Dana and Tracy grabbed a pile of signs, and there was some other people's signs in the pile.
Oh, that's okay. They'll come back. They always do. Where else they gonna go? Where else you gonna use them? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess the ones with the clips or the front street standouts.
Oh, okay.
She said he's the chief. So. I had a question
Hi. Where'd Christy go? She already bailed? Oh, she's over there. Bye. Dress warm next time. You're making me cold without a jacket. Bye. Hey, thanks for covering this, bud.
Thanks, Kristen.
Molly would make a statement, right?
Oh, yeah. Do nothing. Nothing. I like the shoes.
Hi.
Oh, thank you. Much better now.
Did you and Chrissy have any signs or anything?
No. Yeah.
Ready?
All right, ready? Oh my. I don't know. Which way you going? It's gonna shut off. Guys and girls, thank you very much, very much, very much. You guys are awesome.
Well, that's me. Someone said she already has. Yeah, Tom, she already has.
Are we going?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Celtic Pride. Yeah, thank that guy. Knock on the door. Thank him for coming.
No, don't skip
Yeah.
it on the phone. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, you did a great job today. Thanks, bud. We appreciate it. It's a big.
I'm the one I always post pictures on the thing. Chrissy Mello, I always post your truck.
Yeah, I get your truck all the time, so, but appreciate it. No, it's thank you. It means a lot to a lot of people. Yeah, no, thank you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend.
And I'm like, jaw hot, like, just walking in, like, I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
With the clips.
All these signs, I make them out.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll know it's my sign.
Yeah.
You can't, his are all, you get the green borders. Everyone's the green border.
We all have our own little,
Knick-knacks with the signs, yeah.
yeah. Like my not paid to make my sign.
Not
sign is
paid
the
to
one
make
that's all
my
busted
sign.
Up, just, prove the point.
That one, yeah.
Good for you. Bye, guys.
Bye, dear. Tell your hubby I said hi.
Nice to meet you, Nene. Nice to meet you, Colleen. I'm glad his camera's up and running.
Yeah, it's my real one.
Yeah, exactly.
Go. I got something for you. I do.
All right, everybody, thank you.
I got run over by a reporter.
What about cupcakes?
I went for down the other street. I was trying to get a picture of her, but because all like the reporters were like,
Yeah, the Russian.
one of them just ran right into me. Like I wasn't even standing there. I was like, hello.
Where do you see what I got? Oh, what you got? Did you like that one? Feel better now? Yeah.
So I hope everyone had a good day. Karen looked so freaking happy when I saw her in the back of the SUV. I can't tell you guys, she looked happy, very content. Yeah, it was a good day. Yeah, Jen McCabe was here. Bye, guys. Don't forget, we love Vinny.
Yeah, okay. No,
Vinny's the guy.
Sure.
We really like him. We hope. Bye, ladies. You guys be careful driving home.
Yes.
Oh, always.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
CPU, you ain't break your camera today?
Yeah. Happens. Yeah.
How you doing, my friend?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good.
Good to see you.
Hey,
Yeah.
again for that signature. That's
Oh, you like that? Yeah, I got to take care of it. Bye, sweetheart. Thanks for the Plymouth stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Is there That'd be worth money. Where's my girl? I'm supposed to give her something. Where is she? Ugh. There she is. All right. So yeah, so it's been a pretty good day. Yeah, Lally looks confused. So guys, listen, tomorrow, got a good show tomorrow. I have a special guest. I like this guy. What else? Yeah, it's a good day. It was a good day. Yeah. So I got everything on video, so I'm happy about that. Yep. All right, guys. I'm gonna put the phones down, or my phone down, and take a drive home. I'm gonna show you guys want to hang with the drive. I got like 9 stupid streams together because, yeah, well, because. But again, everyone that's watched, I can't thank you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for watching. And everything. You guys are literally the best. Everyone that watched. So everybody, I thank you so much for watching. And I'm sure there'll be more to talk about really soon. Bye, everybody. Cupcakes. Don't forget, it's Chrissy Mello's birthday. Wish her a happy birthday. Chrissy, keep